Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum little kids. This is Shehroz Abdullah, and now today we will discuss class 9th first chapter, that is physical quantities and measurements. We will discuss a detail about physics. We will discuss the first topic today, and all the things which are related to physics. We will go very detailed discussion with physics. You know, physics is very lovely subject. I don't understand why people don't like physics, and there are a lot of people who like physics because it's very conceptual thing. It requires slight attention to understand the things. It's very interesting because it's very related to your nature. It makes you understand the things around you. It makes you understand the phenomena taking around you. It makes you understand what is going inside you, how the mechanism of the things are around you. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Now we start with physics. Let's discuss introduction of physics. You know, physics is from very long time. The concept of physics is already there. For example, in the previous era, people were using stones to produce fire. Okay, when they were rubbing two stones across each other, so it produces fire. So they were thinking that why rubbing two wood across, like wood pieces across each other, it doesn't produce fire? Why? This was all the questions at the start. They were doing some observations. They were doing some observations by their five senses. They were using observation tricks, and by using five senses they were observing things, that why this thing is taking place and why that is not taking place. All the questions are rising over there, by which the concept of physics arose there. Look, after that different experiments started taking place on the same phenomena which they were performing. Now if we collect these observations and the experiments, it gives us science. You know, in science, observations is not necessarily that it must be 100% correct. It can be wrong, it can be right, depending upon the situation, the scenario, everything. You know, science is basically a hypothetical knowledge. Hypothetical is the word derived from two. Hypo means imaginary. Thesis means theory. It can be right as well, it can be wrong as well. You know, it requires a step must be performed, a process must be performed on the observation to judge it whether it is right or wrong. That is what we call experiments. So science is basically the collection of two things, observations and experiments. If you combine these two things, this gives birth to science. Okay, the word science is basically from Latin. The word science is from Latin, scientia. There are different pronunciations of this word scientia. Some people call it scientia, some people call it scientia. I call it scientia actually. So which means knowledge. You know, the knowledge of observations and experiments, this is what we call science. The knowledge of observations and experiments, this is what we call what? Science. Okay, now till 18th century, you know, it was believed that it's a natural philosophy, means things taking place naturally. There is no external source used over there. You know, all the things were naturally believed that they are taking place naturally till 18th century. You know, after that what happened? You know, natural philosophy were classified into two. Scientists, the scientists started thinking upon this natural philosophy, that like what is this natural philosophy. There were different classes of it, there were different things. So they started thinking that we should classify it to understand it more better. So what they did, actually they divided into two of the classes. The first is physical sciences, second is biological sciences. In physical sciences, they studied about non-living things. They classify the study of those things which were non-living, okay, in physical sciences. In biological sciences, they started research about those things which were living, okay. After a few years, different non-living things can be of different classes. There were a question arose over there, like non-living things are also of different classes. So to understand it better, we need to come to different branches further. Okay, now we divide physical sciences into 5 of the more classes. The physical sciences is further classified into 5 of the more classes. First is physics. You know, in physics, we discussed about 3 things. The first, matter, second, energy, and then their mutual relationship. You know, matter is anything that occupies space and has some mass. That is what we call matter. Everything, for example, this pen, dice, everything. Okay. Energy is the ability to do work, or you can say the capacity to do work is known as energy. Done ho gaya. Okay, then their mutual relationship, like how we have to convert energy into matter and matter into energy. This phenomena of converting matter into energy and energy into matter, we can relate this in a single relationship, that is the famous Einstein equation, that is E is equal to mc square. If you see over here, if you look in this expression, like in this equation, there are 3 terms. The first is E, which means energy. Then we have M, which means mass. Then we have C, which means speed of light. The value of speed of light is C is equal to 3 cross 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Okay. There are 5 classes of physical sciences. First, we have done with physics. Then we have chemistry. You know, if you consider in all these 5 branches, we discuss about non-living things. Okay, in chemistry we discuss chemical reactions, all these reactants, products, and all the things related to that we study over there. Then the study of the third is about Earth, spinning of Earth, revolution of Earth, velocity of Earth, radius of Earth, speed of Earth, orbital velocity of it, and all the things related to Earth we classified into a very big branch or mega branch of physics, that is geology, right? Okay, then we classify the 4th one as astronomy. You know, in astronomy, we discuss heavenly bodies like stars, galaxies, moon, sun, planet, like that, like these things, right? So this was the 4th class of it. Then we come towards meteorology. Meteorology is one of the class of physical sciences where we discuss about weather, the variation into it, the changes taking place, all the things related to weather, update, all these things we discuss in meteorology, right? Now, coming towards applications of physics in our daily life. You know, physics is very lovely subject. It's very beautiful subject. You know what is the basic reason why I'm telling that? You know, it starts from yourself. It starts from yourself and it moves to the whole universe. This is the beauty of physics. Like physics is starting from you and it is just moving to the whole universe. It makes you understand the things, phenomena taking place around, within you, around yourself, in the whole universe. This is physics. This is what I believe, that it's the beauty of physics. For example, let me discuss few over here. The first is breathing system. You know, human breathe. You know, we inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide. Breathing system, what we do, it follows Boyle's law actually. You know, in Boyle's law, what we say that pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. If pressure increases, automatically volume will do what? It will decrease. So we are using laws of physics, that is one of it, that is Boyle's law. Boyle's law we use in breathing system. Similarly with the circulatory system, in our body we have arteries, veins, heart, different things we have. In heart also there uses Boyle's law. When a heart contracts, volume is decreased, pressure is increased, right? What happens then? Then after that, when the heart expands, it sends the blood to whole body, right? What is happening over here? We are using actually Boyle's law over here. Done ho gaya? Okay. Then pipe system. If we water the plants, what we do, we use different pipes over there. If you use a nozzle over there, what will happen? The water will pass by the nozzle and the speed will be increased. So to increase the speed of the water pipe system, we use Bernoulli's equation. We use equations of continuity in the higher level. There are different laws which explains these things very detailedly. Okay, if the area of the pipe system is very large, water will not flow with high speed. That is very real and understandable. Okay, then we have digital technologies. In digital technologies like computers, TV, monitor, multimedia, mobile, all these things, nowadays this is need of the day. Like these things, like digital things, these are need of the day. Our own working cannot, like our daily activities cannot be done without these things. For example, in mobile, in TV, in computer screen, there are micro fabricated chips, right? There are some micro fabricated chips over there. There are ICs, what we call integrated circuits. There are capacitors, inductors, and blah blah blah. There are more things. There are a lot of things used over there which helps in our daily life to understand the things better. We discuss with cars. People are moving in car. They are enjoying it. They are very comfortable in it. Actually they are using mechanics, laws of mechanics. One should be very thankful to physics. We should be thankful to physics for giving us comfort, for making things easier for us to make movement of ours from one region to another, from one place to another, easy for us. Okay, so people should be thankful to physics for giving us technology of cars. Okay, then we have refrigerator. In summer people bring soft drinks, cold drinks, cold water, so they are enjoying it and they are comfortable. So they are living in air conditioner rooms. All these things, all these facilities are actually fruits of physics. People should be thankful to physics to make their lives comfortable, to make their living comfortable, and this is what I think is the beauty of physics. Then we have medical equipments. When people become ill, they go to hospitals. In hospitals they are treated with different physical equipments, like equipments of physics which works on the principle of physics. For example, MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, CT scan, like X-rays, etc. All the tests what they do, they are done with the help of principles of physics, with the help of techniques of physics. So if there were no physics techniques, there were no physics rules by which they can perform different tests of patient, so how can the patient become healthy? Okay, so we should be thankful to physics for giving help, giving support, giving hands to medical field as well as humanity. Then defense application. In defense applications, what happens? Physics is also used. Drones are used to monitor a certain region. You must be very familiar with drones. It is used to monitor, to keep eyes on the enemies. It is used to keep eyes on different regions, that what is taking over there, what are the things over there, and how they are done. All these things are monitored by using what? Drones, and similarly sonars we have, similarly radars we have. We use radars in different places to research the things, to understand the things, and this is all about what we do in defense application. There are a lot more, but I'm discussing few. Okay. In agriculture field, we know we use latest equipments for the development, for the faster growth of crops, and for the maintenance of field, for the betterment of crops, for faster growth, for nourishment, for the nourishment of growth, and all these things. We use latest equipments which works on the principles of physics to help agriculture to grow the things more in less time, all the things related to that. Even you believe you are walking on the earth, this is due to physics. Imagine you are walking on the earth, this is even due to physics. Like, one should be very thankful to physics. This is what I say. I believe that physics is very beautiful subject, it's very lovely subject. Please understand it, think about it. It requires little understanding, little thinking. If you think about that, so things become easier for you. So this was all about, let me summarize today's lecture. This was class 9th, first chapter. We are discussing physical quantities and measurements. This was first lecture, and in that we discussed introduction to physics, observations, experiments we have done. You know, observations and experiments collectively called science. It is from Latin, what we call from scientia. People call it, pronounce it different way, like knowledge, which means knowledge. Till 18th century, it was considered as a natural philosophy, like everything is taking place naturally. Okay, and we have classified it into two then, physical sciences and biological sciences. In physical sciences we discussed with non-living things, and in biological sciences we discussed living things. Okay, and now non-living things are also of different classes. Like in physical sciences, the non-living things are also of different classes. For example, we classify the physical sciences into further 5 of the classes: physics, chemistry, geology, astronomy, meteorology. Okay, in this physics we discuss about matter, energy, their mutual relationship. Chemistry we discuss about chemical reactions, and earth we discuss about, like in geology we discuss about earth, size, shape, motion, speed, height, width, radius, all these things related to that. Okay, astronomy we discuss with heavenly bodies, stars, galaxies, etc. In meteorology we discuss about weather, updates, change, variation, storm, all these things we discuss with meteorology over there. Now we discuss with applications of physics. There are a lot of applications: your breathing system, your circulatory system, your pipe system, your TV computer system, your cars, your refrigerators, your medical equipments, your defense applications, agricultures, even your walking on the earth, that is due to physics. That is why we call it the science of nature. This is the reason that we call it the science of nature. You know, the word physics is actually from physicos. The word physics is from physicos, which means nature. To study about nature, okay, we study physics. Okay, in Quran, Almighty says that think about. I'm just giving a kind of a mafhum कि आपके ये जो पहाड़ बनाए गए हैं ये कैसे बनाए गए हैं. ठीक है, आप इस पे सोचें. ज़मीन बिछाई गई है, आप इस पे सोचें कि लाइक ये कैसे बिछाई गई है. आसमानों को उठाया गया है, आप सोचें कि इसको कैसे उठाया गया है. मीन्स Almighty inviting us to think about what? Nature. Almighty is inviting us to think about nature, to think about the phenomena taking place around you. What are the processes taking around you, within you, around you? Like the whole universe is composed of different phenomena, different processes, different things. So Almighty is actually inviting us to think about it, to understand it, to explain it, to do with the things, you know, simple. We need to understand physics to understand all of the things and almighty orders. Thanks a lot. Thanks for giving time. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Allah Hafiz, fi amanillah.